Back to the Future is back in theaters for its 40th anniversary, and I watched it. Let's talk about the theater experience. And I'd like to mention that I've been going back to the theaters a lot for re-releases like this. I've done it for K-Pop Demon Hunter for its sing-along event, and Toy Story, which is my favorite film of all time, so obviously. But watching these movies in theaters that you never got to experience before in theaters just makes the entire experience more special because you're watching a movie that you love in an environment that you love. So when it comes to Back to the Future, my nostalgia for the film, I rewatched it after a long time last year and just remembered how great of a film it is and how much I actually love it. So I was super excited to check out the re-release in theaters because Back to the Future made a huge impact in the movie industry. It's a very popular film, so watching it in theaters, you're gonna see that iconic nature play out in the film. And like I mentioned, I watched K-pop in theaters, I watched Toy Story in theaters. Now, Toy Story to me was special because it's my favorite movie of all time, so I have nostalgia for that. That was a special experience for me. But what makes those experiences different from Back to the Future is that Back to the Future is such an iconic film. Now, take out my nostalgia for Toy Story. Ignoring that, just for how iconic Back to the Future is, seeing that iconic nature play out in the film on theaters just shows this film was made for theaters. You have not seen this film until you have watched it in theaters. Because watching this thing in theaters adds this whole new layer, this whole new perspective when viewing the film, and it feels like you're watching the entire film for the first time again. And that's what I love the most about this viewing of the film. You may have seen this movie a million times, you may be quoting the movie as you're watching it, but watching it in theaters has a very different mindset when viewing it. And for a film as iconic as Back to the Future, all of a sudden, it feels like you're back opening weekend, or it feels like you time travel back to opening weekend and experience this movie for the first time. That's just how great of an experience it was watching Back to the Future on the big screen. And to add to that nature, this film is such a fun film to watch. I'm sure everyone has seen Back to the Future. They know how much fun of a film it is. The comedy, the over-the-top goofiness of the film, it's all fun. It's all what makes it so iconic in the first place, among other things. But this is not a review of the movie, it's an experience of the movie. And I can say, watching that fun nature on the big screen somehow made it a lot funner. Like I said, you could be quoting this movie back to back, but just seeing all this stuff happen on the big screen, all of a sudden, you laugh again. Although you're quoting the film, just seeing all this stuff on the big screen play out adds this whole new fun nature to it, that the movie's fun, and you're having a lot of fun watching it because of just that fun nature. And on another note of that, just the audience, watching a movie this iconic with an audience that has seen the movie a million times, because you're all a fan of the movie, that's why you're in that theater. You're all fans of the same movie. So just sitting down, watching this iconic movie with many other people who grew up on this movie, most of them in my audience went opening night to the movie. 40 years ago, most of my audience was there opening night to Back to the Future. So if you were around when this came out opening weekend and you come back 40 years later to watch it today for this limited release back in theaters, you are going to feel nostalgia. You are going to have a much more appreciation than I did for this experience. I've never seen this movie in theaters, so of course watching it in theaters for the first time for me was special on its own, but for those of you who actually watched it opening weekend, you're gonna have a lot more nostalgia. And just this film was intended to be watched in theaters. Watching it at home, watching it in theaters are two completely different categories. And since this film is so iconic, I have to say, watch it in theaters no matter what. It's just a film that's so much fun that you just have to love it for that nature. But it's also a film that's so iconic and changed a lot of the film industry. And just watching this in theaters was a very special experience. Even though I don't have a ton of nostalgia for the film, I still do absolutely love it. And every time I watch it, it's just a great comfort movie and a great time every time. But anyways, thanks for watching this video. If you want to help me reach my goal of 1K by the end of the year, consider subscribing. But anyways, if you like this video, maybe these ones on the side just you too. Like, subscribe. See you guys next time. Goodbye.